Welcome back. The power of Amazon, the e-commerce giant moving from clicks to bricks, catapulting into hundreds of stores following the acquisition of Whole Foods. But what is next for Jeff Bezos and company? Here to break it down for us is NYU Stern marketing professor, founder of L2 Incorporated, and author of The Four, The Hidden DNA of Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. Scott Galloway is with us. Scott, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. So you correctly predicted that Amazon would acquire Whole Foods.
Yeah, I got lucky.
That is great. Now you think the company should acquire
Nordstrom.
Why?
So Amazon's strategy is to create this SaaS-like business model of recurring revenue across 62% of households with Prime. So more households have a relationship with Amazon than have voted in the presidential election or have a landline phone. So now they have intensity across the wealthiest refrigerators in America, but they still haven't been able to bust into the wealthiest closets because they don't have distribution with aspirational brands. Christian Louboutin or Louis Vuitton or even Estee Lauder have a zero engagement policy with Amazon. So if they acquired Nordstrom, in addition to getting 550 great stores, fantastically located in densely affluent populated neighborhoods, they'd also immediately get relationships with pretty much every luxury brand. So this makes all kinds of sense. Having said that, there's an X factor here in that Nordstrom is family controlled. So these decisions get made around the Thanksgiving dinner table, not in shareholder or boardroom meetings.
But it's interesting that you say that because Amazon, you don't think of Amazon as having the relationship with the upper end.
They don't.
With the luxury brands. Because you think of Amazon as, value.
Right, that's right. And it powers so many of our lives and conveniences, but not necessarily the aspirational part of our lives. And that is a really interesting take that you've got on that.
Yeah, luxury's been a holdout. And to a certain extent, they've seen what's happened across other categories. And they've decided to hold back. And I'm not sure that's the wrong decision. A lot of people think that Amazon partners with a brand the way a virus partners with a host, that over the long term, it's not good for the brand. It just pulls down the prices and creates suboptimal distribution that is bad for brand equity. You could argue Amazon is partnering with 500 million consumers, fanatical investors to provide them with infinitely cheap capital to basically destroy brands. They are using brands as bait and then coming in and swapping them out for private label, which is nothing new. We've just never seen anyone this good at it.
What benefit do they get by going after the luxury brands? Does that undermine their own brand and their kind of more mass appeal?
Oh, it's the other way around. You'd rather have the luxury brands and then move down. It's much easier. It's much easier. The moment you have Chanel, every other brand will follow. So starting at the top of the pyramid is the way to go. So they would make a lot of accommodations or huge efforts to try and get these aspirational brands. These brands set the tone. They immediately connect. The moment you see a Birkin bag in a store, you take the store more seriously. So a ton of strategic reasons to have high-end brands.
They're trying to get really low cost as well on Amazon. So what are they going to do? They can't change the prices of a Birkin bag, right?
Well, they've managed to change the prices of pretty much everything else. I mean, Amazon has been pretty effective. I mean, there's sort of this Genghis and Khan relationship online right now where Walmart has said on 80% of the products they carry, they want to have the lowest price. Amazon has algorithms going out and crawling prices. And if you don't offer the lowest price at that moment on Amazon, you're basically off the platform. So there are moments during the day where there are no Procter & Gamble products visible on Amazon. So these algorithms essentially make it very difficult if you want to be part of the fastest growing distribution, which is Amazon, not to lower your prices to stay competitive, which is great for consumers, very difficult for brands.
So, Scott, let's talk the stock, because you make a pretty bold claim. You say that Amazon will be the first trillion-dollar company. Apple's already pretty close. So that's a bold move that you're saying Amazon's going to leapfrog Apple and be the first to reach that milestone. You like buying the stock here even over $1,100?
So I just think Amazon's unstoppable right now. Amazon, in my view, is putting all the chess pieces in place between your purchase history, your credit card, a fulfillment network that puts a warehouse within 20 miles of 45% of the U.S. population, and then this butler that walks around your house called Echo, such that they will announce, this is just a speculation, something called Prime Squared in a college town. They'll run a test that says, we're going to send you 2 boxes 3 times a week. 1 box with the stuff we think you want, 1 box empty that you can just send stuff back that you don't want, and you can manicure using this thing called voice. Alexa, Lagunitas IPA beer, not Stella. Alexa, leaving for 7 days. Alexa, dinner party for 7 people. Alexa, 7 quotes for auto insurance for a 2015 Mercedes GL 550 via email.
Wow.
They're going to announce that this test takes Amazon Prime households from $1,300 to $7,000 or $8,000 a year. The stock's going to become anti-gravity. We're going to freak out and break them up. All right.
So your new book, The Four, examines these tech titans, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. How have they become so successful? What's the secret here? What surprised you most in doing the research here?
I think they tap into a very basic instinct. I think Google is our modern man's God. Look at what you type into the query box. You trust Google more than a doctor, a priest, a rabbi, a scholar, a mentor, boss. It knows if you're planning on leaving your job. It knows if you're getting engaged or getting divorced. It fills this void where we need a super being that sees everything. Praying is sending a query up to a divine being, hoping to get an answer back. Will my kid be all right? Symptoms and treatment of croup. Google's God. Facebook lets us scale love, takes first and second order relationships, and using images lets us create greater empathy. We have an instinctive need not only to be loved, but to love others.
Yeah, but Scott, you know what? That whole notion of Google is God is what's attracting regulators right now. And they have so much incredible power. They know everything about us, like you just said. They know what we're Googling. Do you think they're going to face a higher regulatory hand? I mean, I keep asking this question because I think today it's a very different environment than it was 10 years ago. These companies are the most powerful companies around.
I was on a roll. I was going down the body.
Yeah, I know.
I was headed down.
So do you think
I'll come back to it. Can I come back to that?
Sure,
Amazon's our consumptive gut. More for less is the ultimate gangster business strategy, and Amazon's the best in the world at it. And Apple it appeals to our reproductive organs. This is the way you say you're a good mate, have better genes, part of the affluent class, have disposable income. Yes, I believe they will be regulated. There will be intervention, but it won't come from where we think it's going to come from. It's going to come from a red state. Most likely it's going to come out of Brussels, though. In America, we register a lot of upside from these firms. There's a lot of downside that we're having conversations around: job destruction, tax avoidance, weaponization by foreign governments. In Europe, they register all the downside with a fraction of the upside. There are no hospital buildings or university wings named after Amazon or Facebook billionaires. The backbone of Marguerite Vestager is stiffening. She's about to go gangster on these guys. Like the major conflicts of the 20th century, the war against big tech is going to break out in Europe.
All right, Scott, great to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Good stuff here. It's just an incredible moment in time. And congrats on the book. Scott Galloway joining us there.